Recently, during an early morning tweet, Donald Trump shared with the world that he actually thinks that people who are far more intelligent than the critics are impressed with the job that he did during his press conference, his joint press conference with Vladimir Putin. Now that's the press conference that's led to a tremendous amount of backlash, not just from Democrats, but also from Republican lawmakers. But here's what Trump thinks about how it all went down. He says, so many people at the higher ends of intelligence loved my press conference performance in Helsinki. Putin and I discussed many important subjects at our earlier meeting. We got along well, which truly bothered many haters who wanted to see a boxing match. Big results will come. Again, this was a tweet from today, this morning, 2:53 a.m.
Yeah, so which president says like the haters didn't like it and speaks like a child like this? But luckily I speak child language, so I can decipher it for you. Because people are confused. Did you mean higher ends of intelligence because he speaks so poorly that people who are really smart? Is that what you're trying to say? Or the higher intelligence officials in your administration, right? I'm not confused. I know that he thinks he's like a really smart person, as he said now 3 different times, including writing it out on Twitter. But I think that he's referring to the intelligence officials. My guess as to what happened was he probably had an intelligence official talk to him afterwards. Mr. President, what did you do? Okay, da da da. And then, but Trump being what it is, who he is, probably asked him, but I was great, wasn't I? And the guy's like, yes, Mr. President, you're wonderful. But let's focus on the midterm elections and how the Russians are trying to sabotage them, right? He's like, great, I knew it. So he goes on Twitter, people in the higher levels of intelligence thought I was great. And he says, by the way, my performance. It's not a performance. You're not on a reality show, or you're on the worst reality show ever. It's called Our Lives, thanks to you, because you're the president.
Now, obviously, we don't know exactly what spurred this tweet, but again, I just want to remind you that he tweeted this at 3 a.m. in the morning. So there's no, I don't, and this again happened almost immediately after he met with reporters and claimed that he misspoke when he said that he didn't know why Russia would interfere or meddle in our elections. Okay, so he keeps going back and forth. No, that was a disastrous joint press conference. It was disastrous for multiple reasons, but it should be clear to you that it was disastrous when members of your own party, who are, by the way, afraid to ever criticize you, went on the record to criticize you in the way that you handled it, right? It was a disaster. So no, he didn't speak to intelligence officials. Let me give you some examples, okay? So The Hill reported on this. They actually reached out to intelligence officials to see what they thought about this whole situation. Former US intelligence officials told The Hill that Trump's statement was damaging to the intel community as a whole and likely hurt morale across agencies. Okay, well fine, those are former intelligence officials. Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coats, quickly defended the US intelligence findings after Trump's comments, calling the conclusion fact-based and the Russian efforts ongoing and pervasive. Former CIA Director John Brennan on Monday went so far as to describe the president's conduct as, quote, nothing short of treasonous. So who told him that his performance was great? Because it seems as though there's a consensus indicating that his performance was not great. It was a disaster.
You know, Anna, you might be right that I might be too kind to him.
Yeah.
He might, he's ready to interpret any comment as you were fantastic, your performance was brilliant, your ratings are great. But it's possible that no one at all said that to him. He's just lying, as he always does, nonstop. But it doesn't matter if anyone said anything that he could interpret that way, because the overwhelming consensus of the intelligence community is patently obvious. They were, not only was he totally wrong, and they were aghast at how wrong he was, but they were also pissed that in front of the whole world, he said, our intelligence guys are wrong and stupid, and the Russians are right. Imagine, again, look, just a Republican, put aside the Democrats. Imagine if Reagan went to talk to, name him, but let's say Gorbachev, even though there were far worse Soviet leaders back in the day. But he goes and talks to the Russian communist leader back then. Reagan's like, now remember, everybody, America's stupid and weak. The Russians are right. What? Okay. Can you imagine Reagan's like, Mr. Gorbachev, you were right to put up this wall. It's all our fault. This wall is America's fault. Keep it up. What?
We had different standards back then. I mean, we'll see if the critical feelings that those on the right currently have will stick, because I feel as though we've gone through similar issues in the past, maybe not with Russia, but with Trump and scandal. They'll come out and they'll condemn him in the beginning, and then all of a sudden the scandal goes away and they go ahead and they support him anyway. This seems a little different. It does.
And look, this is a tough thing to say because you never know, and he creates so many controversies that he washes out his previously unthinkable, unimaginable controversies. It's a fascinating cycle, and we've never seen anything like it before. But this does feel like a bit of a tipping point and a turning point, where, I mean, he lost Fox and Friends. Fox and Friends was criticizing him. I mean, the only people left were Hannity, Dobbs, and the crazy Judge Pirro, right? Going like, oh no, all the Republicans are wrong. Oh, for the rest of the Fox is wrong. Everybody's wrong. Putin is right and Trump is right. Trump is so right to be in love with Putin. I mean, he is a very handsome man.
Yeah,
right?
And then Pirro also had this false dichotomy of, well, what did you want him to do? Like take out a gun and shoot? No one said to take out a gun and shoot Putin.
Yeah, I remember Hannity defending Obama that way. Come on, guys, you're saying he bowed to a foreign leader. What did you want him to do? Take out a gun and shoot the Prime Minister of Japan? No, I don't remember them saying that. Yeah. Nope. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.